It's Thursday, February 12th.
We live here because these things don't happen.
Hold your kids tight. Tell them you love them every day. You never know. You never know.
Grief, disbelief, and absolute heartache in Tumbler Ridge, BC, as we learn about the victims whose lives were tragically cut short.
I think it's a very exciting opportunity, and I know those types of, just coming from some of that area, I know the location can be very specific to the utilities and those types of things that are required.
Request to rezone the artificial intelligence data center campus is being proposed for the Regina area.
From an industry perspective, we're thrilled with the idea of eliminating the mandates. It's something we've been lobbying for since their inception.
The federal government's new electric vehicle strategy is drawing mixed reaction in Saskatchewan. Stay with us. Saskatchewan Your Morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
Welcome to the land of kids don't sleep.
Yeah. I mean, how did your kids sleep last night?
Decent last night, but teething is a real...
Yeah, no, it has been fun. Everybody, I texted the group chat this morning. I said, everyone be really nice to Kayleen Day because I'm really tired.
We're going to extend that to all of you as well. You know the text line. Let's get to your headlines for this part of the hour, and it begins with absolute devastation and heartbreak in an unimaginable tragedy in Tumbler Ridge, BC. 6 children under the age of 13 were killed, and 1 child is still clinging to life in hospital this morning.
We were asked as a group to take a moment of silence to pray for however people pray or reflect, to send strength to that family right now. And that moment for me is representative of the profound tragedy. You know, a beautiful child who went to school, was full of joy and love.
12-year-old Maya Edmonds remains in hospital. Her family says she was shot in the head. She is in critical condition. Police say 6 other victims were found dead inside the school. 5 students and a 39-year-old female educator. One of the students killed was Kylie Smith. Her family still in a state of shock.
This is devastating not only to our family, but to so many other families.
She was just a beautiful soul. She's a light in our family. She loved art and anime. She wanted to go to school in Toronto, and we just loved her so much.
Kylie was a grade 7 student. Her family says they learned she was killed from another classmate who, they say, tried to save Kylie by giving her CPR. Last night, dozens of people gathered near the school for a vigil to honor the victims. Today, BC has declared a day of mourning. While the community mourns, investigators are searching for a motive. Family and friends of the suspected shooter are now being interviewed.
They will look at the mental health calls. They will look at relationships. They will look at diaries, journals, online presence, all of that, to try, and the emphasis is on try, to figure out what happened.
Now, the BC RCMP have identified the suspect as 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, who the suspect's mother and stepbrother were also shot and killed in their home. Police say officers had been called to the family home multiple times for mental health concerns. That home is now a crime scene. Police say the suspect was not a current student at the school. The suspect had dropped out. 2 firearms, a long gun, and a modified handgun were found at the scene. Police are now working to determine how they were obtained. The suspect was also found dead at the school of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We're following a tragedy in Western Quebec as well this morning. Police say a father allegedly shot his 2 children in a suspected murder-suicide.
Children whose life was ahead of them are lost, you know, and there was not much we could do to help because we were not there was no signal put out that there was a problem.
This incident took place at the First Nation community about 2 hours north of Ottawa. Officers say the 41-year-old father and his children, aged 10 and 12, Their home chief Jean Guy White Duck says supports are being made available to family members and community members. Prime Minister Mark Carney has issued a statement saying, quote, "Our prayers are with the victims and all those who love them," adding government officials are in contact with local authorities to ensure the people of the community receive every support they can provide during this heartbreaking loss. A Saskatoon man accused of murder is one step closer to a verdict. 23-year-old Callum Desjardins Kelly is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Arden Panipikisik. He was shot in the neck in February on the 10th of 2024 inside his home on Avenue K North. He died of his injuries. The trial began 3 weeks ago. On the stand, the jury heard from the victim's wife, responding police officers, and Desjardins Kelly himself. Closing arguments are expected today before the case goes to the jury for deliberations. A major AI data center is being proposed for the Regina area. The RM of Sherwood has received a rezoning request for a quarter section of land located near Sask Polytech. Wayne Mantika reports.
This quarter section of farmland just outside Regina city limits could become the site of a major AI data center. It's located about a kilometre south of the Sask Polytechnic campus. The request to rezone the property for a data center campus has been filed with the RM of Sherwood. The application comes from a numbered company with letters of support saying it is part of the Bell AI Fabric project announced in 2025. Bell is the parent company of CTV News. According to documents filed with the RM, the project would be built in stages, consisting of multiple low-rise buildings totaling 500,000 square feet. The application states that the facilities will support universities, healthcare, public sector services, and Canadian businesses with secure made-in-Canada computing capacity, helping to keep sensitive data and innovation within the country. Both Sask Polytech and the University of Regina see partnership opportunities, while the City of Regina views it as economic development.
I think it's a very exciting opportunity, and I know those types of, just coming from some of that area, I know the location can be very specific to the utilities and those types of things that are required, but I see it as an exciting thing nearby.
The proposal calls for creation of 300-plus parking stalls, which suggests a large high-tech workforce. The application calls for work to begin later this year. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Meanwhile, Saskatoon has released its strategic plan for the next 4 years, but it's what's left off the list of priorities that is getting the most attention. The city's strategic plan builds off the city's surveys to outline what's important to residents and direct City Hall's priorities until 2029. A drop-in center open every hour of the year was removed. So were plans for a community safety communications count, an online neighborhood watch and patrol alongside the police service. Despite being listed in the strategic plan, the drop-in center specifics were abandoned because of a lack of data to be revisited later, they say. City surveys says 77% of respondents feel safe in their community, with the remainder wanting more of a police presence.
We had conversations with the city police, city fire administration experts who work in our community safety areas, and the conversation there was, again, it's not a priority to put into the strategic plan, but it doesn't mean that it's not something that the city would support or something that couldn't happen.
About 1,700 people took part in the survey, which is more than 3 times the previous amount of responses. Moderna says the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is refusing to review its new flu vaccine. This is an mRNA vaccine which uses the same technology as the company's COVID-19 shot. The FDA, under Health Secretary RFK Jr., has put heavy scrutiny on vaccines, especially those using mRNA technology. Easy for me to say. Moderna's flu vaccine is under review right now in Canada, the EU, and in Australia. Today is the day Canadian hockey fans have waited a long time for. Our men's hockey team, featuring NHL stars, starts its Olympic tournament against Czechia, and NHL players back for the first time since 2014. Captain Sidney Crosby and stars like Connor McDavid lead the way for Canada, Cale Makar, etc., etc. Also in action today, members of Canada's silver medal-winning mixed relay team are back on the short track. There's a chance to medal in the women's 500 meter and in the men's 1,000 meter as well. Some Saskatchewan Saskatchewan flavor at the Winter Olympic Games. Regina's Ben Hebert and men's curling got off to a decent start, winning their first game 7-6 over Germany. Saskatoon's Maya Schwinghammer had a great performance in the women's mogul final, almost finding the podium, finishing 5th. She was ranked 10th in the world standings as she headed into that event. So here's a look at the medal standings as we see them right now. Norway in the lead, 7 golds. Of course, gold gets the most weight, 13 total medals. U.S. trailing behind with 12 total. Canada in 13th place with 4 medals. They've added a bronze since we spoke last. Let's get over to the Weather Center with Kayleen Sawatsky and talk about that warm-up that just continues in our city.
It certainly does. Typically in the past week or so here, we've been talking about those really nice temperatures down towards the south. Well, if you're waking up with us from central Saskatchewan this morning, some great news for you. You are also seeing those positive numbers today. Now, not seeing those positive numbers quite yet. We're at -6 right now in Regina. Calm winds, though, and those are going to remain into our afternoon hours, similar to what we saw yesterday, and clear skies right now to start the day. -6 also in Saskatoon. Just a few clouds there. Again, don't worry. Later on into the afternoon, we're going to be seeing mainly sunny skies today and some south winds coming in at 15 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at that wind forecast for the rest of the afternoon, though, because again, things are looking really nice today. This is very similar to what we saw yesterday. Not really seeing any gusts this afternoon, so it's going to be a very pleasant day. Hot and cold spots in the province now. Loon Lake, 0.2 degrees. Nipawin, you are our Saskatchewan cold spot this hour, -14.6. The Canadian hot spot, that is Bonilla Island, BC, 8.8 degrees already. And the Canadian cold spot is Thompson River, Northwest Territories, -52.3. Let's take a look at those really nice temperatures we're going to be seeing this afternoon. Battleford's with a mix of sun and cloud, 2 degrees. Saskatoon, 1 degree. 2 degrees for Yorkton. And of course, warmer down towards the south again. Swift Current, 7 degrees. Joining them at 7 degrees will be Moose Jaw and Weyburn. 6 degrees expected for Estevan and 5 degrees for Regina. So don't be like me. I washed my car yesterday. We're going to be seeing more of that melt today. Futurecast, not really seeing a lot for this afternoon. As I mentioned, a whole lot of sunshine on the way. We're mainly just seeing a lot of those clouds way up north. We are talking about some precipitation moving in overnight, though, only impacting northern Saskatchewan. And then we are looking forward to tomorrow afternoon, where we see some mixed precipitation. It's a very small spot popping up just east of Prince Albert. So that wintry mix on the way there for tomorrow. We see increasing cloud cover into the weekend. And then I really want to draw your attention to Saturday. We've been talking about the odds of this for the past few days. They've been coming and going, coming and going. This is where we stand right now. Likely that the system is going to be moving into the early afternoon, later afternoon, early evening hours. Saskatoon going to be seeing some flakes, and Regina with a wintry mix very likely. With those, some okay temperatures though. 5 degrees tomorrow, 2 degrees on Saturday, 1 degree on Sunday, and 2 degrees on Monday with some more flurries on the way. In Saskatoon, -1 tomorrow, -1 on Saturday. Again, it's likely to be seeing some flakes into the evening hours. -2 on Sunday and -4 on Monday.
Common reasons older adults end up in an emergency room is because they have a fall. And in many cases, a fall can lead to broken bones that require surgery or intense rehabilitation, especially if the patient has a disease called osteoporosis that causes bones to become thin and fragile. According to the experts at the American Medical Association, osteoporosis weakens bones and increases risk of fractures, particularly in seniors. Worldwide, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men older than 50 will have a bone fracture due to osteoporosis during their lifetime. Smokers and people with chronic kidney or liver disease are at especially high risk. Help preserve your bone density by eating foods that contain plenty of calcium and vitamin D. Make strength training a regular part of your routine and visit your doctor for regular checkups and screening to help track your bone health and catch problems early. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, this is exciting. The Hospitals of Regina Foundation has unveiled their Spring Home Lottery show home, and for the first time ever, it's located in Emerald Park, just east of Regina. This $1.8 million show home is the most valuable prize in the history of the lottery. The 4,500 square foot house features 4 bedrooms and a triple garage. The winner will also receive $50,000 in cash to take care of the property taxes.
Which is the big thing.
Yeah, exactly. You need that. And anything else that they might need. The money raised from the lottery, of course, will go to support a wide variety of healthcare needs in the maternal health, pediatrics, and the NICU, along with revolutionary new technology that allows less invasive and more effective brain surgery.
We try very much to make a house, a show home that shows like a show home, but feels like a home. And it's a bit of a balance, and I'll say that Rippling Homes has done a great job of finding that balance and that line. But ultimately, it's about the wow factor. We want people to come in and say, yeah, this is a great show home.
This is the 60th home lottery since they began in 1987. To date, $69.5 million has been raised from the home lotteries to support healthcare in Regina.
Oh boy. Better get our tickets. Would you sell it or would you keep it?
I think I'd have to sell it.
Sell it?
Yeah.
Cash, buy something?
Well, I mean, like the cash to take care of the property taxes.
That's nice.
You know, but I mean, they can only go so far, right? How long can you actually live in the house?
Get you through about 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's get to our question du jour today. We got the sad news yesterday that James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek has now died of cancer. So we thought, man, this is one of those people that everybody just seemed to have a crush on.
Everyone had a crush on him.
Right?
Yes. Dawson's Creek was one of those, it feels nostalgic now, but it just felt homey back then.
Katie Holmes is Joey. So we wanted to know from you, who was your first celebrity crush? You were watching TV back in the day. Mine was Tiffany Amber Thiessen from Saved by the Bell.
And we all know
Kelly
that.
Kapowski.
Yeah, no.
Very well known.
Mine was Jason Priestley, Beverly Hills 90210. And I know that people are saying, oh, like you're too young for that. No. Like I watched the reruns when I was a kid growing up all the time. Jason Priestley.
He's in that Hockey Fanatics show we talked to Dave Foley about yesterday. He still looks the same.
I know. Doesn't he look wonderful?
So is Kelly Kapowski. We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer, your first celebrity crush, to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you scan that QR code on your screen, and we'll take a look at the city of Saskatoon. As you fill up your coffee cup, we'll be back with more of today's headlines after this.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we go to Charlotte, where the Hornets were hosting the Hawks. Brandon Miller gets a great screen, attacks the rim, throws down a massive one-handed slam. Look at this. Up and over we go. Huge dunk. Miller had a game-high 31, highlighted by that play right there. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up today on TSN, the Winter Olympics continue with men's hockey. Canada kicking off their tournament against Czechia. Puck drop goes at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That's all from SportsCenter. Have a great day and enjoy the hockey.
Now we go out on location to Jeff Rogstad. He's teeing up Winter Shines in Saskatoon. Good morning, Jeff.
It is that time of year again. It's time to embrace winter in Saskatoon. With me today, the festival director for Nutrien Winter Shines, Shad Ali. So first of all, for people who may not know, Shad, what is Winter Shines?
You know, I say to people, Winter Shines is like a warm hug in the middle of winter that gets you feeling all those nicey-niceys, right? So come down and enjoy. There's plenty to enjoy.
Now, we're here at the Gather Local Market, and that's sort of the headquarters, but it's not the only place where things are happening.
Yeah, so inside of Gather Local Market, we'll certainly have plenty of activities. This year, first time, we're doing a puzzling competition.
Okay.
We're doing a painting night. We're doing a number of things of that nature inside. The soup cook-off, the novice competition, is inside of Gather Local. And then, of course, a lot of stuff outside as well, Jeff.
And the finals for the soup cook-off are at TCU Place, is that right?
Correct. The finals where we name Saskatoons, we say the YXC Soup Master will be named there. So that's at TCU Place. The ice carvings, we will still have them despite all this warm weather. And then we'll have some 3-on-3 ball hockey out there.
Fantastic.
Lots of things for people. A couple of really new ice sculptures outside as well.
All right, we're looking forward to all of that. And for more information, what's the website?
NutrienWinterShines.ca is the best place to go.
All righty.
As we take a look at our school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. We see a very similar forecast to yesterday, just a couple notches warmer. Low wind speeds, though, -6 in both cities. If you're stepping out the door right now to catch the bus by lunchtime, in Regina, 0 degrees, mainly sunny. And in Saskatoon at lunch, -3 by final bell. Both cities entering into those positive temps. 5 degrees for Regina this afternoon and 1 degree expected for Saskatoon. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price this morning is $127.9. You might find it for as low as $104.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $126.9, and you might find it for as low as $114.9. In the farm markets now, we find the street price of canola at $615.43 per ton, and the futures price at $662.70 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $255.15 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading down this morning. It's at 73.68 cents U.S. After the break, new concerns about overcrowding in hospitals. We'll have the details for you. Stay with us.
Morning. Welcome to Your Morning. It is 6:30. A recent image of Saskatoon St. Paul Hospital is raising concerns about overcrowding in Saskatchewan hospitals. The picture shows portable beds occupying a part of the hospital previously used for addictions treatment registration. According to the NDP, there's a section which is still used for rapid access addictions medicine registration and outpatient services. NDP MLA Mara Conway says areas like the ones pictured are not equipped to handle patient care.
This is becoming a pattern in our largest hospitals. For months, we've seen horrific images of hallway healthcare circulating in the media and online. Some videos have even gone viral, receiving thousands and thousands of views.
In a statement to CTV News, the Saskatchewan Health Authority said that the hospital saw an increased demand for emergency services this week, and the additional space was required, equipped, and appropriate with supplies. The federal government's new electric vehicle strategy is drawing mixed reaction here at home. Last week, Prime Minister Mark Carney scrapped Canada's mandate to require all new vehicle sales to be electric by 2035. Instead, Ottawa rolling out tougher emission standards for 2027 to 2032 model years to drive more zero-emission vehicle production. The government is also launching an incentive program offering up to $5,000 for EVs and $2,500 for plug-ins that qualify. Saskatchewan Automobile Dealers Association welcomes the change, while a member of Sask EV says the new plan won't be as effective as the previous one.
From an industry perspective, we're thrilled with the idea of eliminating the mandates. It's something we've been lobbying for since their inception.
I think it's less stringent, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier on the auto manufacturers, where I think they really need to crack down on the manufacturers to encourage them aggressively to move towards electric vehicles.
Now, to qualify for those rebates, vehicles must cost under $50,000 and be built in a free trade partner country. There's no price cap for Canadian-made EVs. Rebates are highest this year and scale back annually until the programs end at 2030. 4 people facing drug charges after a 5-month investigation led to the seizure of about $650,000 in drugs. The investigation involved the Regina Police Service, Saskatoon Police Service, Brandon Police Service. On February 7th, 4 search warrants were executed, 2 in Regina, 1 in Davidson, and 1 in Brandon. In total, police found more than 5,000 grams of cocaine, a little more than 1,000 grams of fentanyl, 183 grams of methamphetamine, and over $25,000 in cash. A 55-year-old man from Regina, 54-year-old from Moosomin, 56-year-old from Stockholm, and 43-year-old from Edmonton, all facing drug charges, and all appeared in Regina court on February 9th. New questions are emerging over growth in the city of Regina. This comes as new city statistics predict Regina's population is going to reach 300,000 far before its former projected 2040 timeline. This means it needs to facilitate more than 52,000 new housing units over the next 15 years, but it doesn't have enough land or the funds to support it.
We've talked about being more data-driven, and this does that. This grows in a financially responsible way. When we talk about taxes and property taxes and those increases, the cost of urban sprawl, that's the challenge that's in front of us. And if we keep piecemealing and building infrastructure that we don't fully recover money from, we're going to be in the same situation for years to come.
The city hopes access to new federal funding through the Build Canada Strong Fund will assist. However, the city is still assessing eligibility requirements for a project it has in mind. Up in Prince Albert, police say charges will not be laid in connection to a fatal pedestrian collision last fall. Something happened about 4:30 in the morning on October 11th. Emergency crews called to Highway 2 and 55 East at Prince Albert, where a vehicle hit a woman. Driver in a vehicle. Vehicles don't hit them on their own. I was walking in the area. Despite life-saving measures, she died of her injuries. Investigators with the Major Crimes Unit determined the crash was not criminal and no charges should be laid. 6 House Republicans in the U.S. have broken rank with by joining the Democrats to block U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada.
Are these tariffs hurting your constituents?
Yes, absolutely. I've heard clearly from small and large manufacturers as well as agricultural producers that these tariffs are hurting them.
The U.S. House voted 219 to 211 in favor of a resolution, you'll remember this from yesterday, aimed at terminating the fentanyl emergency invoked last year, imposed tariffs on Canada. This vote largely symbolic since Trump can veto it. President Trump posted his response on Truth Social last night, saying Canada has taken advantage of the U.S. for years on many things in trade. They are among the worst in the world to deal with, especially as it relates to our northern border. Tariffs make it an easy win for the U.S. Easy. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi defended the Justice Department's handling of the release of the Epstein files in a dramatic hearing yesterday.
I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer. It's not your time to ask questions.
Okay, I'm talking.
Well, it was a shouting match at times as Bondi was grilled by lawmakers. Critics are accusing the Justice Department of doing a sloppy job in releasing the files. The department is being accused of failing to protect the privacy of survivors while showing rich and powerful men in the files. There are also allegations they've scrubbed U.S. President Donald Trump's name from the documents. Despite her defense of the Trump administration, Bondi says there are pending investigations into individuals who may have worked with Epstein. The Blades and Pats played some old-time hockey last night, shot out the lights.
Schultz moving in on Zach Olson, forced to the far boards. Schultz still in there with it, trying to come free, comes out in front, still with it, a shot, he scores! A hat trick.
15-year-old Maddox Schultz with the game winner, his third on the night, first career hat trick. Caden Brown also scored 3 for the Pats. They come from behind to upset the Blades 7-6 last night in Saskatoon. That is a hockey score from the 90s. Schultz becomes the youngest player in franchise history to score a hat trick for the Pats. They're now 1 point back of a playoff spot.
At the line, dance by one, check, then he turned the puck over. Broncos away, 2-on-1, shorthanded. Here comes Rudolph, left side, Moen, shot, scores!
So current Broncos scored 2 goals in the third period. They upset the Calgary Hitmen 3-1 last night. Archer Cook made 30 saves for the Broncos. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Let's talk about that fog that's in some of the areas of the province. My goodness.
Yeah, we are seeing some fog this morning, some dense fog advisories in effect in some places. Not where we typically see them, though. Sometimes we see them more often down towards the southeast corner of the province. That's not exactly where we're seeing them today, mainly up north today. So that's an interesting change. This morning view is brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing in Regina. Not a bad start to the day. We're at -6 right now. Clear skies and calm winds. So a really nice morning to get outside if you have the chance. -6 in Saskatoon. Just a few more clouds there, and winds right now coming in at 15 kilometers per hour. Don't worry too much about those winds. They're not really going to be increasing for your afternoon all too much. Now we know what Saskatoon and Regina are at, but now let's compare this to across the country. You can see the pink colors and of course the white colors up north. Those are where we're seeing the coldest temperatures in the country right now, but we're seeing a lot of blue and even getting into those light blue colors in Western Canada. Vancouver 4 degrees, Calgary 5 degrees right now, Edmonton -5, much colder over in Ontario and parts of Quebec. So Thunder Bay at -19, -7 though in Toronto, so not bad there, -10 in Montreal to start the day. Current temperatures across the province, however, as we get a little bit more specific, showing really nice temperatures up north, -11 in Stony Rapids, -11 in Prince Albert, -14 in Nipawin, -1 in Spiritwood, so that's a nice treat to start the day, -5 in East End, -4 -4 in Moose Jaw, -5 in Weyburn, and -4 over in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, again, continuing to see some really nice temperatures down towards the south. That's where we're seeing the warmest temperatures. But for the central zone and even some parts of the north, getting into those positive temperatures later on this afternoon. 2 degrees for the Battlefords, 2 degrees for Prince Albert, 2 degrees for Yorkton, and then down towards the south, sharing that degree of 7 this afternoon, Swift Current, Moose Jaw, and Weyburn. 5 degrees expected for Regina, 6 degrees expected for Estevan. And you don't really see any precipitation on the screen today. Again, a nice little treat for Saskatchewan today with those calm winds and a lot of sunshine this afternoon. Let's turn our attention now to this 7-day forecast. So we talked about 5 degrees today for Regina, continuing that trend into tomorrow with that mix of sun and cloud. Saturday, again, we've been talking about that chance of getting some precipitation. It's been fluctuating a little bit. Now we are seeing it. It's just later on into the late afternoon, early evening hours. The early afternoon, we're just going to be talking about some cloud cover, 2 degrees on that day, 1 degree on Sunday, and some more flurries on the way starting for your next work week on Monday. In Saskatoon, -1 tomorrow, -1 on Saturday. Again, expecting to see some flurries later on into the evening hours, -2 on Sunday.
Saskatchewan plays a huge role in powering Canada's economy, but rural leaders say federal clean energy policies could come with cost challenges for our province. Bill Huber is the president of the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities and is in studio with us this morning. And just as we always do, Bill, let's remind people what SARM is all about.
Well, SARM is represents our 296 rural municipalities in this province. And so we're the head lead organization on that. And our office is situated in Regina on Windsor Park Road. So.
Why are we in a unique position to play a big role in energy?
Well, we want to encourage the federal government that their clean energy plan is, we have so much to contribute to that here in Saskatchewan. We've got, 27 of the 34 critical minerals here in Saskatchewan. And we got to be concerned about energy costs going forward. And with the federal government's new energy plan, our electricity costs could increase by, 100%. They could virtually double in the next 8 to 10 years.
How do you get to that number?
Well, that's just a number that that Stats Canada, I guess, has released, and our staff have dug up for news releases and stuff. So it's a big, huge expense. We've got fertilizer manufacturing in this province. It's $5.5 billion industry. We've got agriculture, machinery that's manufactured here, Bourgault, Degelman, some of those companies. And they're all vital and being needed in this province to drive agriculture and the oil and gas and mining sector in this province.
So what do we do?
Well, we can encourage the federal government to recognize what we have here in Saskatchewan and how we can contribute to the economy and the GDP of this great nation we're in. So.
Let's talk about the recent news that ag research facilities are being shut down in a few places, including here at home. That's a major blow for your organization.
It sure is. It's a major blow for our members, and our organization. It was devastating news.
This thing's been around since the 1800s.
Yes, it has. And we were in Ottawa last October, the third week of October, on a lobby trip. We met with Deputy Minister Lawrence Hanson, and he assured us that those research stations would stay. And then just a few short months later, we get the news that they're closing them. And you take a town like Indian Head, and there's 40 jobs to be lost there. And same with Scott, Saskatchewan, another devastating.
Not to mention the information that they glean.
Well, that's right. The research that they've done over the last number of years for seed innovation, variety changes in wheat and cereal crops and oil seeds, so vital to our economy that drives agriculture. And we've got 44% of the arable land in this province, and we export to 3 major countries and 161 other countries around the globe. So we're a province that has a lot of natural resources and renewable resources, and we need the federal government to recognize that and what we can contribute to the economy of this nation.
Bill, if somebody wants more information about your organization, how do they get it?
Just call our office anytime or contact myself, and we'll be glad to help them.
The website is on your screen. Bill Huber is the president of SARM. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you very much, Darryl.
President Donald Trump taking aim at Canada Wednesday night as the U.S. House of Representatives voted against his tariffs on Canada, a largely symbolic move that shows some wavering Republican support for the president's massive trade agenda. While Wednesday's motion passed, it did not get the two-thirds majority it would need to become veto-proof. The resolution next goes to the Senate, and both chambers need to approve the tariff rollbacks before it's sent to Trump for the president's signature or, more likely, a veto. Canada's income and wealth gaps reached new highs in the third quarter of last year, Stats Canada showing. While economists say the country has yet to slip into a K-shaped economy, they warn a widening class divide could have longer-term economic and political consequences. The income gap widened to 47.5 percentage points, its highest level since 2010, driven largely by weak wage growth for low-income households. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Well, our own Janelle Lippi could take her time and do some yoga, after hours, but she thought, well, I'll get paid for it, right? So let's go live to her this morning. Janelle, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. We're having a ton of fun over here. Look at this beautiful space. We're feeling very zen down at the Healing Center here. And I've got Christy with me, who is the director. She's going to walk us through a little bit of a yoga move here. Christy, good morning, and thank you for having us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so blessed and honored to have you in my space this morning.
Well, we are honored to be here. Let's kick things off with some yoga here this morning.
Okay. Great time to do your practice first thing in the morning. So we're going to start with the breath.
Okay.
I want you to imagine that your breath is like a wave.
Okay.
So close the eyes if you're comfortable, and we're going to inhale. Imagine that wave of breath washing over the front of our bodies, up to the crown of our head, calm and tranquility. Hold that for a moment. And as you exhale, that wave of breath is going to wash down your back and take with it the hectic energy, the chaos of the outside world, and bring you into a place of peace. Let's do one more of those before we start moving. Inhale. Wave of breath washing over you to your comfortable peak. And exhale. Send that wave down the back. Maybe you'd like to think of an intention or a wish for yourself for this practice and for the day you're going to have today. Then we're going to bring breath into movement with Sufi circles. So we're going to inhale our chest forward and making a circle here. Exhale, bringing the body around. It's really grounding and relaxing. Connects us to our hips. Let's take a couple more in this direction. You might notice the back body feels ooey gooey good, I always say.
Yes, I feel it.
Let's come around to center like a spiral, picturing an internal spiral as we come center, stacking the spine nice and tall. Take an inhale and add a quick sip of breath on top. Expand your breath capacity for just a moment. Before we round out through the back, tuck the chin and go the other way. This is our unwind. We're really going to let go of any stress. It's the top of the day, so maybe we have a little stress in our minds about what's coming at us today.
It's February 12th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Kesley. She turned 17 today. We hope you have a great day. This shout out coming from your mom. Turning 9 years old today is Kyrie. Happy birthday to you. Lots of love from your mom, dad, and brother Bo. And happy birthday wishes also going out to Todd today. This photo came from Oakland, Scout, and Sully with the message, we hope you have a wonderful day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Chase, turns out we're bad friends because yesterday was Brandon Hall's birthday and we didn't put it on the birthday board here that Kayleen just did, the milestones. And then I sent him an AI-generated country song and he did not reply.
I at least put it up on our socials. Oh. I sent you a message, but at that point it was like seconds before it was supposed to go on. So, and I did wish him a happy birthday in person too. But happy belated to Brandon on CTV here this morning. Maybe you could share or buy him a birthday cake if you can crack the co-op number and win $950 to Sherwood Co-op this morning. We did get a little closer yesterday. We are halfway there. We have the first three digits, a 5, an 8, and a 6, have all been guessed, have all been locked in. We need those final three digits, though. So I guess going with the iHeartRadio app coming up in 6 minutes, we'll get someone on the line, see if you can crack the co-op number and win $950 to spend there.
Chapel's got a case of the Zoomies. Shishi comes in to shake things up.
Super Bowl 60 wasn't the only big game to put up big numbers on Sunday. The 22nd annual Puppy Bowl scored as well, drawing 15.3 million viewers on Animal Planet and its sister stations. That's the adoption-centered program's highest ratings in 8 years and a 20% increase over 2025. On the field, Team Fluff were the top dogs, beating Team Rough 73-69.
They call it the ABA, the American Basketball Association.
There was something fresh in the ABA.
Soul Power, the legend of the American Basketball Association, looks at the 1960s and 70s pro league that gave its rival NBA such innovations as the slam dunk contest and the three-point shot, and such stars as Julius Dr. J. Irving. The documentary premieres today on Prime Video. Slammin' and jammin' in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, let's kick off our sidebar with how different dishes are treated.
I am getting called out. I am getting called out so hard right now. This is me to a T.
Which one? The meticulous or the just jamming it and hoping for the best?
I have white cupboards exactly like him, and all of my Tupperware just entirely shoved in.
That's how my wife loads the dishwasher right there. That was a perfect reenactment of it'll be fine, it's good, hit start.
No, I can't do that. I have to load my dishwasher in a very specific way, but the Tupperware
so do I.
Just goes in.
Then my wife says, it all gets clean. Yeah. Does it? Does it really? Time out. It's Thursday, February 12th.
We live here because these things don't happen.
Hold your kids tight. Tell them you love them every day. You never know. You never know.
Grief, disbelief, and absolute heartache in Tumbler Ridge, BC, as we learn more about the victims.
The community is there, and we're really encouraging the community to stand together, stand strong, and support each other in these difficult times.
Tragedy in Western Quebec. Police say a father allegedly shot his two children, a 10 and 12-year-old, in an apparent murder-suicide.
Oh, there's what they talk about with Maddox Schultz. Exceptional talent. He deeks and fakes.
The Pats and Blaze shoot out the lights. We've got the highlights. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
My wife has already texted and said I do not load the dishwasher that way. It's orderly and effective.
You got in trouble. My spouse doesn't watch.
My wife would never watches. Calls me out immediately.
Hi, Sarah.
My goodness. She also would, I know she's in her head saying, this is why I don't watch the news. That's all sad. And it's true. Like,
yes, yeah.
Headlines today.
Lots of tragedy.
Terrible. Weather's not so bad, though.
Weather is not so bad. So there are some positives, at least in the show today. We can talk about some nice temperatures warming up for the central zone. phones into those positives.
All right, give me 2 minutes of sad news and we'll get to some stuff that's less so. The community of Tumbler Ridge, BC is coming together to mourn the victims of Tuesday's mass shooting. Craig Krause has more on the unimaginable tragedy.
Unity amid heartbreaking tragedy. Tumbler Ridge paying their respects Wednesday night to the 8 lives taken in Tuesday's deadly shooting.
Still can't believe it. We're so connected.
I mean, it's mind-numbing. It's confusing.
A feeling felt by many as they learned 7 kids under the age of 13 were gunned down, along with a 39-year-old teacher, in this violent and senseless attack.
With young lives lost, families don't have their children coming home last night.
The mayor says the province has provided additional resources and mental health support, a message of gratitude, with politicians of all levels and parties by his side.
I think it was really, really important to see that, and I thank the government.
A painful address as Premier David Eby provided an update on 12-year-old Maya Edmonds, who is in hospital fighting for her life.
And we were asked as a group to take a moment of silence to pray for however people pray or reflect, to send strength to that family right now. And that moment for me is representative of the profound tragedy. A beautiful child who went to school, was full of joy and love, who's clinging to life in a hospital right now.
A community, a province, and a country wrapping their arms around this small town as they mourn. And more than 1,200 kilometers away in Victoria,
sending our love to all those people.
BC MLAs on the steps of the legislature held a candlelight vigil for the victims Wednesday evening.
We're reminded of the strength that comes from our standing together. May we all continue to support one another.
A difficult road ahead that Tumbler Ridge will not have to go down alone. Craig Krause, CTV News.
You can find out more on our website. We are following a tragedy in Western Quebec as well this morning. Police say a father allegedly shot his 2 children in a suspected murder-suicide.
Young children whose life was ahead of them are lost, and there was not much we could do to help because there was no signal put out that there was a problem.
This incident took place on a First Nation about 2 hours north of Ottawa. Officers found the 41-year-old father and his 2 children, aged 10 and 12, inside their home. Supports are now being made available to the community. An artificial intelligence data center campus is being proposed for the Regina area. The rural municipality of Sherwood has received a rezoning request for development of an artificial intelligence facility just southeast of Saskatchewan Polytech. It would be comprised of multiple buildings, they say, on a quarter section of land and include about 300 parking spaces. The application is from a numbered company, but letters of support say it's part of the Bell AI Fabric project that was announced in 2025. Bell is the parent company of CTV News. The application calls for a start date of 2026. Saskatoon has released its strategic plan for the next 4 years, but it's what's left off of the list of priorities that is getting the most attention this morning. The city's strategic plan builds off the city's surveys to outline what is important to residents and direct the city's priorities for up to 2029. Now, a drop-in center open every hour of the year was removed, and so are plans for a community safety communications count, an online neighborhood watch, and patrol alongside Saskatoon Police Service. Despite being listed in the strategic plan, the drop-in centers specifies were abandoned because of a lack of data to be revisited later. A city survey says 77% of respondents feel safe in their community, and the remainder want more of a police presence.
We had conversations with the city police, city fire administration experts who work in our community safety areas, and the conversation there was, again, it's not a priority to put into the strategic plan, but it doesn't mean that it's not something that the city would support or something that couldn't happen.
1,700 people took part in that survey. Officials are now warning Canadians to avoid all non-essential travel to Cuba and are telling those who are still there to come home while they still can. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand posted this message to social media as Canada raised its risk level around travel to Cuba. She writes, quote, "Our government is working with airlines to help Canadians return home, and Global Affairs Canada consular officials are ready to provide support," end quote. There is a concern of worsening shortages of fuel, electricity, and basic necessities, including food, water, and medicine. Air Canada, Air Transat, and WestJet have already suspended flights to Cuba. A Saskatchewan man had a harrowing tale of a run-in with some provincial wildlife last month. Jacob Carr reports.
It's not every day that one comes across a moose in their own backyard, but that's what happened to Sean Tufnell when his mother Angie was attacked by the animal on her acreage near Beanfate.
First thing I could think of, get it away from her, because they just start stomping and then you're screwed. So I yelled twice and it just turned, pinned its head at me. I didn't think it was going to run away, but it was worth a try. So I screamed pretty loud and big, and then, yeah, just pinned his ears back and looked right at me and kind of shuffled towards me.
Tufnell describes having to punch the moose to get it off of his mother, then hitting it with a shovel, eventually shooting and killing it. Lyle McGilvery, a Saskatchewan wildlife photographer known in many circles as the Moose Whisperer, says he has never been attacked by one, but knows how terrifying they can be up close.
That had to be a terrible, frightening scene for both of them. I couldn't imagine having a 1,000-pound moose or a 1,200-pound moose standing over top of you, and those front feet is really detrimental. Like when they reach out with those front feet, they cause a lot of damage.
Both Tufnell and his mother were injured in the attack, Angie requiring stitches in her right calf, while he has been dealing with cracked ribs. Tufnell says while he has not suffered any trauma, his mother has not fared as well.
For me, there's no trauma there. Just I seen her in trouble, and it doesn't matter who it is. That's just how it is for my brain, I guess. But she was pretty traumatized. Like, anytime she's outside, she's pretty worried. Like, she's still pretty scared, but she's doing really good now. So it was a toll on her for sure.
The Canadian Wildlife Health Cooperative says it has examined the adult male moose and it was in very poor condition. The investigation is ongoing, but tests for rabies and chronic wasting disease have come back negative. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Canadian freestyle ski star Mikhail Kingsbury has won silver medal for the men's moguls event at the Olympic Games, bringing our medal count to 5 now. 33-year-old from Dumontaine, Quebec, sailed to his 4th Olympic medal just behind Australia's Cooper Woods. Japan's Ikuma Horishima won bronze. Woods and Kingsbury registered identical scores of 83.71, but the Australian was declared the winner due to higher marks for his turns. Today's the day many Canadian hockey fans have been waiting for. Our men's hockey team starts its Olympic tournament against Czechia. The NHL players are back for the first time since 2014. That's Sidney Crosby, that's Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, you name them. It's all getting underway at 9:45 this morning. On the short track, we've got a chance for a medal as well in the women's 500 meter and the men's 1,000 meter, so we're paying attention to that. Some Saskatchewan flavor at the Olympics. Ben Hebert to the men's curling got off to a good start, beating Germany 7-6 yesterday, while Saskatoon's Maya Schwinghammer had a great performance in the women's mogul final. Almost a podium finish, 5th place. She was ranked 10th in the world heading in. Here's the medal standings as we know them. Norway, my Norwegians lead the way with 7 gold medals, 13 total. They are first because gold is ranked heavier. If you're not an Olympic viewer, that is why you see 13 ahead of 14. Canada down there with 2 silver, 3 bronze, not 3 blondes, that would be weird. 5 medals total to our name. Let's get over to a blonde in our weather center. That is Kayleen Sawatsky. There's fog in some parts of the province this morning.
Yeah, we are still seeing some of those dense fog advisories. It's kind of fluctuating as it always is. So we're going to say the same thing we always say. Just be prepared for these conditions with the visibility to be changing rapidly, because as we know, the fog can come in quick and it can lift really quickly. Right now, outside in Regina right now, it looks pretty good though. Not a bad start to the day, -7. Just a few more clouds than what we saw a few minutes ago. Winds coming in right now at 6 kilometers kilometers per hour. And in Saskatoon, -6. Pretty similar conditions. Winds coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. So those winds really calm for the morning and staying really calm for the afternoon. Take a look at this. Pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. A little bit more blue on the screen, but really, if you're walking outside today, it's going to be really, really calm. Let's turn our attention to these hot and cold spots. This is something fun we get to do when there's not a lot of active weather in the province. Temperatures are looking really nice. Winds are low. Not a lot to talk about. We get to do extra things like this. The Saskatchewan hotspot outlook -0.2 this hour. The cold spot still Nipawin. It has remained this morning -13.9. The Canadian hotspot is Bonilla Island in BC. That's 8.8. And the Canadian cold spot is Thompson River. Take a look at that temperature, -52.3, all the way up north this hour. Today's forecast also looking really nice in terms of temperatures in central Saskatchewan. What we have been seeing in the past few days is we see really nice positive temperatures down towards the south, and then we see those negative temperatures in central and northern Saskatchewan. Well, Battleford's up to 2 degrees today. Prince Albert 2 degrees, Saskatoon 1 degree, Yorkton 2 degrees. Down towards the south, though, again seeing the warmer temperatures. 7 degrees expected for Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Weyburn, and 5 degrees for Regina, 6 degrees for Estevan. Not a lot of precipitation for today. As you can see, we're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine down towards the south, way up north. That's where we're seeing more of that cloud cover. We do see some light flurries in northern Saskatchewan into those overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. What you're seeing on your screen is about 1:45 a.m. And then we're just looking forward to tomorrow when we see a little system impacting areas east of Prince Albert with some snow and rain. And then we're looking forward to the weekend where we see increasing levels of clouds. And we also see this larger system that's going to be bringing some flakes and some rain to parts of the province. This is later on in the day, though. Your afternoon is probably just going to be clouds, and then into the evening hours we see that wintry mix for Regina. 5 degrees tomorrow, though, 2 degrees with that wintry mix on Saturday, 1 degree on Sunday, and 2 degrees on Monday with some more flurries on the way earlier on in the day. In Saskatoon, -1 tomorrow, -1 on Saturday. Again, don't worry too much about those flakes you see on your screen for the afternoon. It's going to be coming in the evening hours. -2 on Sunday, -4 on Monday.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Take a look at this rural forecast. Isn't this nice to see, especially considering that the average for this time of year is between -7 to -8 in many places across the province. So 3 degrees with that sunshine for Lloydminster today, 1 degree for Watrous, 1 degree for Wynyard, and 3 degrees for Outlook. Down towards the south, even warmer. Take a look at Maple Creek, expecting 9 degrees this afternoon, 6 degrees for Rockland, 5 degrees for Pilot Butte, 3 degrees for Carlisle with that mix of sun and cloud. Let's take a look at Big River, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 3 degrees this afternoon, mainly sunny, just a few clouds, and winds remaining calm all day long. Jeff Rogstad is out on location for us, teeing up Winter Shines. Good morning, Jeff.
Are you ready for some soup? Because the soup cook-off is a big part of Nutrien Winter Shines, and this year is no exception. Shad Ali, the festival director, with us, and one of the people who's been a finalist, Francine Ferguson from Simply Delicious Jamaican Treats. So congratulations on how you did last year.
Thank you. We were second runner-up last year, and this year we're looking to take the first place.
All right, exactly. So it's that time of year when we're looking to get on that podium and be on the top of the podium. I see you got a cup of soup there. What do we got today?
Okay, so today we have red peas with chicken soup.
All right. Now, is that what you're going to be making for the competition?
Definitely, yes. That's what we'll be making on Sunday.
All right. That's what's coming up on Sunday. And for people who don't know about the soup cook-off, I say it's a tradition. I don't know how many years it's been going on. It's a long time.
It's a long time. It's definitely beyond the 10-year mark now. And, I mean, if I was to try to move this or cancel it, I think I'd be in deep, deep, deep trouble. But, yeah, the soup cook-off, we have the wide open event at Gather Local Market. That's on Sunday night. I think there's still a couple of tickets. And then the big competition where we named the YXC Soup Master is at TCU Place, and that is going to be amazing. 10 of the top chefs in the city.
And I believe our own Jeremy Dodge is one of the judges. So it's a fabulous event. Once again, you can go to the website, which is
nutrienwintershines.ca.
All right, and best of luck in the competition.
Thank you so much. Everyone come out on Sunday and try our soup, okay? You'll definitely enjoy it.
No kid.
We're celebrating a birthday of sorts. Leslie Nielsen was born 100 years ago yesterday here in Saskatchewan.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Nielsen was born in Regina on February 11, 1926, and was raised in the Northwest Territories. His father was posted as an RCMP officer. He, of course, died in 2010, but built his legacy, living on through his legendary films like Airplane and the Naked Gun franchise, which is what you're seeing. He started out as a dramatic actor, and then he was like, you know what, I can do comedy. And they were like, nah, you can't do comedy. And then turns out he can do comedy.
Yeah, turns out, yeah.
Turns out he can do comedy.
I'm sure he was somebody's first celebrity crush.
Probably. Dick Van Dyke would have been a few. He's 100. He's still going.
Yeah.
He's still going. Question of the day is, who was your first celebrity crush?
And we have a lot of answers.
Oh boy.
Let's dive in.
Okay.
Up on the big board this morning, we have Dolly Parton coming in on X. We had Kirk Cameron from Tracy.
Any Kaylin Sawatsky's on there?
No Kaylin Sawatsky's. No Daryl Rummel's either. Leanne saying Bo Duke, John Schneider. Debbie saying my first celebrity crush was David Cassidy. You're going to see that name popping up a lot on
John
this
Schneider
board.
Too. Hood sliding like Bo Duke.
Yeah, we had Sherry right in saying a few different categories here. So she said David Cassidy, Elvis Presley, Dean Martin, and Tony Curtis and Terrence Hill.
I wrote her back and I said, judging by those answers, you can't be a day over 29. And she wrote back and said, I hope you have the day you deserve. I don't know what that means.
Typically, that's an insult. I did see that in the text line, and I said, wait, is this good or bad?
No,
Sherry, write us back. We adore you. Karen saying my first celebrity crush was Kevin Richardson of the Backstreet Boys. Still is, in fact. I can understand that one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's David Cassidy.
David
again.
saying Daisy Duke. Of course, I think that was also probably a
Ralph Macchio, Karate Kid.
Yeah, the Karate Kid. She said she was drooling.
Yeah, that's something.
Brenda agreeing. David Cassidy. Kelly from Bigger saying Sean
and David Cassidy. Okay,
yeah,
so
both of them. Few other ones here. We had John from Regina saying first celebrity crush would have to be the model Twiggy. That goes way back to the 60s. So thank you so much for answering so far. We want to share some more next hour, though. I've already seen they're still coming in on our text line. So we are going to have some fresh answers in about 1 hour. But you can still text us to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen.
Hello there, Kara Waglin inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we go to Charlotte, where the Hornets were hosting the Hawks. Brandon Miller gets a great screen, attacks the rim, throws down a massive one-handed slam. Look at this. Up and over we go. Huge dunk. Miller had a game-high 31, highlighted by that play right there. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up today on TSN, the Winter Olympics continue with men's hockey. Canada kicking off their tournament against Czechia. Puck drop goes at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That's all from SportsCenter. Have a great day and enjoy the hockey.
U.S. President Donald Trump taking aim at Canada Wednesday night as the U.S. House of Representatives voted against his tariffs on Canada, a largely symbolic move that shows some wavering Republican support for the president's massive trade agenda. While Wednesday's motion passed, it did not get the two-thirds majority it would need to become veto-proof. The resolution next goes to the Senate, and both chambers need to approve the tariff rollbacks before it's sent to Trump for the president's signature or, more likely, a veto. Canada's income and wealth gaps reached new highs in the third quarter of last year, Stats Canada showing. While economists say the country has yet to slip into a K-shaped economy, they warn a widening class divide could have longer-term economic and political consequences. The income gap widened to 47.5 percentage points, its highest level since 2010, driven largely by weak wage growth for low-income households. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we just went down a notch. We're at -7 now, a few clouds up in the sky. In Saskatoon, -6 right now to start your day. By lunchtime in Regina, 0 degrees, and by final bell, reaching that expected daytime high of 5 degrees. A beautiful mix of sun and cloud, and winds remaining low all throughout the afternoon. In Saskatoon, lunchtime temperature -3, so you still want to grab a light jacket, but by final bell, entering into those positive digits, 1 degree. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. 127.9 is the common price. The lowest you might find is 104.9. In Saskatoon, common price is 126.9. Lowest you might find 114.9. In the farm markets this morning, we find the street price of canola at $615.43 per ton, and the futures price at $662.70 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $255.15 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is trading down this morning. It's at 73.68 cents U.S. After the break, new images of St. Paul's Hospital in Saskatoon sparking renewed concerns about overcrowding. Stay with us.
Time for your morning mystery, and because Jeremy Dodge is away today, we got somebody else to come and play, the former host of Indigenous Circle and living legend himself, Nelson Bird. Thanks for doing this, Nelson.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to see you all, and it's great to be back on the air for a few seconds.
All of your fan mail is going to start rolling in. Okay, so Nelson, here's how we play. We've got 3 clues. I think it's a song today. And you try to guess what it is, write it down on a piece of paper, and we'll show the camera, okay? Clue number 1, let's get right to it. Clue number 1, love song released in 1961 for the film Blue Hawaii. Okay. Clue number 2, the tune is based on an old French love song from 1784 called Plaisir d'amour. And clue number 3, a big hit for Elvis Presley, and the UB40s version was also hugely popular in 1993. What song is that? Nelson, write it down. Do you know this tune?
I think I do, but...
A lot of writing.
I wrote it down. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Don't show it to the camera yet. All right. Kaylin, you done? You write a novel over there?
I'm not quick.
Just the song title, not all the lyrics.
Okay.
Okay, on the count of 3, show the camera. I believe it is Can't Help Falling in Love.
I also think
Nelson also thinks so. Let's see what the answer is. It is, in fact, Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley.
Nelson's
That's a good song. It's a good song.
Nelson, you're 1 for 1 now. This is probably one of your go-to karaoke songs, Nelson.
Totally. Of course. You know it.
Oh, we missed the Nelson karaoke.
I've seen it done. My friend, thank you so much for doing this. What are you up to these days? You're still over at First Nations University of Canada? I'm
teaching at the First Nations University, and I'm enjoying it very much. And I miss seeing you guys all the time, every day. You know, that morning routine we had there, and visiting and laughing and listening to music.
Nelson, good news is you can see us on your screen every day, or on Crave, on the go, as you transfer yourself over to the university. Thank you so much for doing this.
Okay, take care. Have a good day, everybody.
No more shenanigans. Off to news we go. And a recent image of Saskatoon St. Paul Hospital is raising concerns about overcrowding. The picture shows portable beds occupying part of the hospital previously used for addictions treatment registration. Now, according to the NDP in this province, there's a section which is still used for rapid access addictions, medicine registration, and outpatient services. But NDP MLA Mira Conway says areas like this one are not equipped to handle patient care.
This is becoming a pattern in our largest hospitals. For months, we've seen horrific images of hallway healthcare circulating in the media and online. Some videos have even gone viral, receiving thousands and thousands of views.
In a statement to CTV, the Saskatchewan Health Authority said the hospital saw increased demand for emergency services this week, and the additional space was equipped with appropriate supplies. The federal government is shifting gears on its EV strategy. Stacey Hine with reaction from Saskatchewan.
The federal government is hitting the brakes on Canada's mandate requiring all new vehicle sales to be electric by 2035. Making the announcement last week, Prime Minister Mark Carney says instead, Ottawa is rolling out tougher emission standards. The Saskatchewan Automobile Dealers Association says it welcomes the move.
From an industry perspective, we're thrilled with the idea of eliminating the mandates. It's something we've been lobbying for since their inception.
Tyler Krause, a member of Sask EV, says the new plan won't be as effective as the previous mandate.
I think it's less stringent, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier on the auto manufacturers, where I think they really need to crack down on the manufacturers to encourage them aggressively to move towards electric vehicles.
But Krause says Ottawa's new incentive program, with rebates of up to $5,000 for EVs and $2,500 for plug-in hybrids, could still make a difference.
It's still going to incentivize and encourage people in Canada to adopt the EV and ditch the gas car. So I think it'll be effective.
The Dealers Association also supports the rebates.
It's going to help drive that type of EV sales. Now, maybe not completely electric vehicles in our marketplace.
To qualify for the rebate, vehicles must cost under $50,000 and be built in a free trade partner country. There's no price cap for Canadian-made EVs. The rebates are highest this year and scale back annually until the program ends after 2030. The federal government is also putting $1.5 billion towards building more charging stations across the country.
I think we definitely need more charging stations in Saskatchewan. We're still missing a lot of support in those rural communities.
SGI data shows nearly 3,000 fully electric vehicles were registered last year, more than 4 times the number in 2021, signaling growing demand in Saskatchewan. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
4 people are facing drug charges after a 5-month-long investigation led to the seizure of about $650,000 worth of drugs. The investigation involved the Regina Police Service, Saskatoon Police Service, and police in Brandon. On February 7th, 4 search warrants were executed, 2 in Regina, 1 in Davidson, 1 in Brandon. Police found more than 5,000 grams of cocaine, a little more than 1,000 grams of fentanyl, and 183 grams of meth, about 25 grand in cash as well. Now, a 55-year-old man from Regina, 54-year-old man from Moosomin, 56-year-old from Stockholm, and 43-year-old from Edmonton are facing a number of drug charges. New questions are emerging over growth in the city of Regina. This comes as new city statistics predict the Regina's population is going to reach 300,000 far before the former deadline or projected timeline of 2040. That means it needs about 52,000 more housing units over the next 15 years, but they say it doesn't have enough land to support it.
We've talked about being more data-driven, and this does that. This grows in a financially responsible way. We talk about taxes and property taxes and those increases. The cost of urban sprawl, that's the challenge that's in front of us. And if we keep piecemealing and building infrastructure that we don't fully recover money from, we're going to be in the same situation for years to come.
The city hopes to access new federal funding through that Build Canada Strong fund. 6 House Republicans have broken rank by joining Democrats to block U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada.
Tariffs hurting your constituents?
Yes, absolutely. I've heard clearly from small and large manufacturers as well as agricultural producers that these tariffs are hurting them.
The U.S. House voted 219 to 211 in favor of a resolution aimed at terminating the fentanyl emergency invoked last year, imposing tariffs on Canadian imports. The president posted on Truth Social last night that Canada has taken advantage of the U.S. for many years on trade. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi defended the Justice Department's handling of the release of the Epstein files in a dramatic hearing yesterday.
Told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer. It's not your time to ask questions.
It's a shouting match at times. Bondi was grilled by lawmakers. Critics are accusing the Justice Department of doing a sloppy job in releasing the Epstein files. Saskatoon Blades and Regina Pats played some old-time hockey last night and shot out the lights.
Maddox Schultz moving in on Zach Olson, forced to the far boards.
Schultz still in there with it, trying to come free, comes out in front, still with it, shot, he scores!
15-year-old Maddox Schultz with the winner, his third on the night, his first career hat trick. Caden Brown had 3 as well. The Pats come from behind to beat the Blades 7-6 last night in Saskatoon. That's a 90s hockey score if I've ever seen one. Schultz now becomes the youngest player in franchise history to score a hat trick for the Pats.
Line dance by one check, then he turned the puck over. Broncos away, 2-on-1, shorthanded. Here comes Rudolph, left side, Moen shot, scores!
Swift Current Broncos scored 2 goals in the third period. They upset the Calgary Hitmen 3-1 last night. Caitlin Swatsky, I feel like we should give something away. What do you think?
You know what? I agree, Daryl. Let's do it. Ram Motorsports Spectacular returns to Saskville Centre in Saskatoon for 3 shows February 21st and 22nd. We want you to catch all that action. Enter online at ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca for your chance to win a family pack of 4 tickets to catch the show. Man, that felt good. Let's enter all that, folks. Let's give that away. Let's turn our attention now to this morning view. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. It's not a bad morning view today either. We're seeing pretty calm winds to start the day. A lot of sparkly lights that we can actually see because we're not seeing the fog here right now, although we do still have some of those dense fog advisories in the province. A reminder to you that those conditions can change very rapidly with that visibility, so just be prepared for that. -7 right now to wake us up in Regina, -6 in Saskatoon. Just a few clouds there right now, and winds currently coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. So we know where Regina and Saskatoon are at. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country. We're seeing some of those light blue colors over on the west coast, Vancouver at 4 degrees. Some of those light blue colors into Alberta as well, mainly down towards the south. Calgary at 5 degrees right now. Edmonton -5. Winnipeg at -6. And then we start to see those pink colors over in Ontario and Quebec. So we are seeing some cooler temperatures there. Back to the blue over on the east coast. Let's turn our attention to Saskatchewan, though, and get more specific across the province this hour. -2 in Buffalo Narrows, so a really nice start to the day there. -11 in Stony Rapids, though, -12 in South End, -7 in Nipawin, so Nipawin is no longer our cold spot. -5 in Melfort. Down towards the south, -5 in East End, -5 in Moose Jaw, -10 in Yorkton, and -4 in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, seeing some really nice temperatures again down towards the south where we're seeing the warmer temperatures. However, if you remember in the past couple days, we've been talking about those negative temperatures in central and northern Saskatchewan. Today, we're seeing a lot of positive numbers all across the board. 2 degrees for the Battlefords with that sunshine, 2 degrees for Prince Albert, 2 degrees for Yorkton. So you're going to start seeing a lot of that melt today as well. Futurecast not showing a lot for precipitation today, but we do start to see some snow making its way into northern Saskatchewan overnight. What you're seeing on the screen right now is at about 2 a.m., all that purple color way up north. And then as we look towards tomorrow, we do see some more precipitation into the afternoon hours. This is east of Prince Albert. It's a very small system there, bringing some mixed precipitation. And then we are talking about the weekend, where we see a larger system making its way in, bringing some flurries and some rain to central and southern Saskatchewan, but mainly into the later parts of the evening. The temperature is looking really good until then, though. 5 degrees tomorrow, and then dropping down slightly to 2 degrees on Saturday, 1 degree on Sunday. In Saskatoon, -1 on Friday, -1 on Saturday, and -2 on Sunday. But a reminder that these temperatures, although they are falling slightly, are above the seasonal average.
Whatever the type of talk it is, come on then. I gotta know
ones for all you collectors out there. The Regina Stamp Club hosting their annual show and sale. It's this weekend, and the club president is Ian Yates. He's in studio with us this morning. Ian, thanks for doing this.
Thanks very much for having me.
Remind us what the club is all about.
Sure. Well, we're the Regina Philatelic Club, the $5 word for stamp collecting.
Of course.
It's an old club. It's been in existence since 1910. So us and the riders, I don't recall getting a stamp actually issued by Canada Post for our club, but nevertheless. So we've been going strong for a long time, and we've been having this annual show and sale in this particular weekend for about 50 years.
This is one of the cool things. You always bring some stamps with you.
Yes,
what have you
I did.
brought for display?
Well, just for fun, I brought a group of British definitive stamps, ordinary stamps for letters, and I just have one example from each monarch's reign. So starting as the penny black, issued in 1840 with Queen Victoria, then Edward VII, George V, Edward VIII, George VI, Queen Elizabeth II at the beginning of her reign. Then at the bottom, they have these sort of jazzier techniques of tracking stamps in Great Britain right now, and so that's at the end of her reign, and then Charles.
Just how hard is it to find some of these?
Some of them are a little more difficult than others, but yeah, the stamp show and sale has about a dozen dealers and also includes coins, because a lot of stamp collectors have both problems. Right. They collect stamps and they collect coins. And so both will be there, and you can just have a little want list of things that you'd like to accumulate and check out with the various dealers, and you can find a lot of stuff there. I mean, they have huge stocks of material.
And you guys got a sense of community too.
Oh yes, it's
you're competitive, but you're friends, right?
We're absolutely so, and it's a very collegial group within the club itself, but also within this show and sale. So it's at the Senior Centre on Winnipeg Street, south of Victoria, and it's on Saturday and Sunday, the 14th, 15th, and it opens at 10, closes at 5 on the Saturday, opens at 10 and closes at 4 on the Sunday.
If I've never been there, what do I expect when I walk through the doors?
You'll see the dealers around the edges of the gym that they have at the Senior Centre, and you'll also see an area with stamp displays from the club members that are available to have a look at. Entry fee is $3 for the day, or the clever people spend $5 for full 2-day admission.
There you go.
And yeah, it's a great opportunity to mingle with fellow collectors, improve your collection, fill in those gaps. And
thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Greatly appreciate
it.
Senior
Center, that's a great way to spend your Valentine's Day as well. Thanks for your time. Here's what's happening in our community. On Valentine's Day, there's a tea and bake sale at 2 p.m. out in Kenora at 201 4th Avenue. Admission $6. A steak night and dance on February 14th at 6 p.m. at the Welwyn Rink out in Welwyn. For tickets, call 306-434-6999. Valentine's Day dance on February 14th, 7:30 p.m. at the Hazel Dell Community Center. Call 306-547-4284 for more. If you'd like your event featured here, all you got to do is email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.com. Janelle Lippi is on location for us. Have you found your Zen or whatever it is you're doing today?
Good morning. We are continuing this fun relaxation. I've got Christy back with me now. Christy, we're going to go through a little bit of a flow here as we learn more about the Healing Center. So let's maybe kick things off with that.
Okay, sounds good. We're going to take our bodies and stack them nice and tall, soles of the feet to the earth, crown of the head to the sky. Interlace your fingers in front of you. As you inhale, imagine you're drawing your energy up, over towards the sky. Flare the palms up. And exhale, burst your arms open. We're going to forward fold over the legs. Inhale, look up. We're going to step back. Take a chaturanga push-up. So you're stepping back here, lower your knees, and coming down. Elbows hugging the body. Untuck your toes. Lifting up. And lower your knees to exhale. Push into your down dog.
All right, and as we're going through this, Christy, tell me a little bit about some upcoming events that you guys have on the agenda.
Okay, February is Love Month, so let's take ourselves looking up here, stepping up to your hands, lengthen. We are doing all kinds of things. Free classes. Tuesday night are all free classes as we forward fold, coming into a chair pose. Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale. Saturday for Valentine's Day, we have all kinds of cool stuff happening. A pop-up with spinal flow practitioners, and then we have a sound bath for World Sound Healing Day, which is February 14th. So that is an immersive sound experience with the singing bowls, gongs, percussion. And then Sunday we have also another free class. Our Kundalini yoga instructors offering a love and kindness yoga practice.
Amazing. Well, tons of great energy is coming in these next few days. So thank you so much for this. I hope that all of you are able to find a little bit of relaxation with me. I'm feeling good. I hope you are too.
I am so happy you're finding your zen. You really needed a break.
It's February 12th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Kesley. She turns 17 today. We hope you have a great day. This shout out coming with love from your mom. Turning 9 years old today is Kyrie. Happy birthday to you. Lots of love from your mom, dad, and brother, Bo. And happy birthday wishes also going out to Todd today. This photo came from Oakland Scout and Sully with the message, "We hope you have a wonderful day."
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
What's going on, my man?
Well, Valentine's Day coming up on a Saturday, but not so much focusing on relationships or current ones, but the old ones. We want to know today, what do you still have from an ex? There's actually an event going on in Calgary this weekend where you get to throw all of those away, and it's all working towards a charity as well. But you can join the conversation up on our Facebook page. On top of that, we'll look at some of the messages from those little chalky heart candies that have left throughout the year. There's some real bad ones. I don't know how they made it through their marketing, but we'll take a look at that. And we still have some more tickets to give away for wine in Wascana coming up tomorrow.
If you're so inclined, there's a local business in town that is doing some questionable heart-shaped cookies. Fresh Carnival.
Oh.
Go to their Instagram. Take a look.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Chappell's got a case of the Zoomies. Shishi comes in to shake things up.
Super Bowl 60 wasn't the only big game to put up big numbers on Sunday. The 22nd annual Puppy Bowl scored as well, drawing 15.3 million viewers on Animal Planet and its sister stations. That's the adoption-centered program's highest ratings in 8 years and a 20% increase over 2025. On the field, Team Fluff were the top dogs, beating Team Rough 73-69.
They call it the ABA, the American Basketball Association.
There was something fresh in the ABA.
Soul Power, the legend of the American Basketball Association, looks at the 1960s and 70s pro league that gave its rival NBA such innovations as the slam dunk contest and the three-point shot, and such stars as Julius Dr. J. Irving. The documentary premieres today on Prime Video. Slammin' and jammin' in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, for some people, good posture is not exactly instinctive. We both sit up a little bit. That's why we need a quick check.
Posture? Yes. Well, let's see. I even have a good point. If you can hold this for a few seconds. I can dance. Hold it.
So this is called the posture prank. You can do it to your significant other today. Luke put a broomstick inside his brother's jacket sleeves to check his posture.
Oh, that's why he can't move.
And when both arms are stuck out, he then takes advantage of the situation to tickle him. These sassy siblings, they're known to do silly things like this with each other online. So.
Oh, come now. Everybody just needs a tickle every now and then. Here, let's get over to some ways the dishes are treated differently in this house. Which one are you at home? Are you the trash panda just chucking stuff in there, closing the door and wishing them well? Or are you meticulous?
Yeah, good luck in there, everybody. Good luck.
A little haphazard. This is my wife loading the dishwasher. I don't care what her text says. It's Thursday, February 12th.
For the parents, for the families, for the people of Tumbler Ridge, all of us here will make sure that the supports are here, knowing that they will never be adequate for what you're going through.
We are learning more about the victims of the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC.
I think it's a very exciting opportunity, and I know those types of, just coming from some of that area, I know the location can be very specific to the utilities and those types of things that are required.
Quest to rezone the property. An artificial intelligence data center campus being proposed for the Regina area.
Oh, there's what they talk about with Maddox Schultz. Exceptional talent. He peaks and fakes.
And the Pats and Blaze shoot out the lights. We got the highlights. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your Morning Saskatchewan, I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday. Did you get another text from your wife saying,
no,
I don't load the dishwasher like that?
She's probably off taking the kids to daycare by now, so I think I'm safe at this point. But man, did she give me grief. She says, I don't load the dishwasher like that.
The little war today from on what you say and versus what she texts you. It's been thrilling.
It's been entertaining. Last night I went to the Saskatchewan Science Centre, saw Eric Church. It's the IMAX concert experience.
Oh, neat.
It was packed in there. Packed
really?
To the gills. But the highlight for me was, beyond the music, which was awesome, was this like an 8-9-year-old girl in the row in front of me having the absolute time of her life. Bouncing up and down and clapping. I was thinking, I can't wait till my kids are that age.
I wish we had video of that.
So emphatic. Yeah, I couldn't. I was trying to enjoy the show. Let's get over to news. We got your weather forecast. It's got some fog in it. We start with the devastation and heartbreak, as you can imagine, in Tumbler Ridge, BC. 6 children under the age of 13 were killed. 1 child still clinging to life in hospital this morning.
We were asked as a group to take a moment of silence to pray for however people pray or reflect, to send strength to that family right now. And that moment for me is representative of the profound tragedy. Our beautiful child who went to school was full of joy and love.
12-year-old Maya Edmonds remains in hospital. Her family says she was shot in the head, now in critical condition. Police say 6 other victims were found dead inside the school, 5 students and a 39-year-old female educator. As the country continues to mourn that tragedy, Ben Mildjur spoke to one grieving family about the girl who died in the mass shooting.
Hold your kids tight. Tell them you love them every day. You never know.
Fighting through tears, Lance Young wants the world to know his murdered 12-year-old daughter Kylie lost her life just as it was about to flourish.
She was just a beautiful soul. She's a light in our family. She loved art and anime. She wanted to go to school in Toronto. And we just loved her so much. She was thriving in high school. She never hurt a soul.
RCMP say officers found the suspect's 39-year-old mother, Jennifer Strang, and 11-year-old stepbrother, Emmett, shot to death in the family home. The 6 victims at the school are a 39-year-old female educator, 3 female students, all 12 years old, and 2 male students, aged 12 and 13. 2 other victims remain in hospital with life-threatening injuries, including 12-year-old Maya, a minor hockey player with a gunshot wound to the head. Her mother shared this heart-wrenching photo from BC Children's Hospital, where Maya clings to life.
Parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers in Tumbler Ridge will wake up
without someone they love. The nation mourns with you. Canada stands by you.
RCMP initially identified 25 additional surviving victims, but have since clarified most of them were uninjured but had to be triaged by medical staff because they had blood on them. Among them, the 17-year-old who tried to save Kylie's life.
There's a hero named Maddie Levesque who did CPR on my daughter for 45 minutes.
Young wants to shift the focus away from the killer and on to the victims.
Put my daughter's picture up in Takaria and Abel and Ezekiel and Maya, who's still fighting for her life. Put all their pictures up. Let's stop giving this psychopath the recognition, because these kids were lost before they got to become teenagers.
Their lives cut tragically short in a place their families trusted they would be safe. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
Prime Minister Mark Carney remaining in Canada as a sign of solidarity and support, cancelling a planned trip to Munich.
Parents, sisters, brothers in Tumbler Ridge will wake up without someone they love. The nation mourns with you.
Flags across the country are at half-mast this morning as the community, province, and entire country mourns the tragic shooting. Carney was to attend the Munich Security Conference. 3 federal ministers who were already planning to accompany Carney will be on the trip attending that conference. In Saskatchewan, Premier Scott Moe called the news of the shooting horrifying, adding, quote, "Thoughts and prayers are with the families of the injured and everyone in the community." Meanwhile, Denny High School in La Loche posted its own message to the community only weeks after marking 10 years since its own deadly shooting in 2016, saying, quote, "Our hearts and prayers go out to the victims, families, community members, and school staff. We stand with them in solidarity." A major AI data center is proposed for Regina. Wayne Mantika with what we know so far.
This quarter section of farmland just outside Regina city limits could become the site of a major AI data center. It's located about a kilometre south of the Sask Polytechnic campus. The request to rezone the property for a data center campus has been filed with the RM of Sherwood. The application comes from a numbered company with letters of support saying it is part of the Bell AI Fabric project announced in 2025. Bell is the parent company of CTV News. According to documents filed with the RM, the project would be built in stages, consisting of multiple low-rise buildings totaling 500,000 square feet. The application states that the facilities will support universities, healthcare, public sector services, and Canadian businesses with secure made-in-Canada computing capacity, helping to keep sensitive data and innovation within the country. Both Sask Polytech and the University of Regina see partnership opportunities, while the City of Regina views it as economic development.
I think it's a very exciting opportunity, and I know those types of, just coming from some of that area, I know the location can be very specific to the utilities and those types of things that are required, but I see it as an exciting thing nearby.
The proposal calls for creation of 300-plus parking stalls, which suggests a large high-tech workforce. The application calls for work to begin later this year. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
City of Saskatoon is out with its strategic plan meant to guide city priorities for the next 4 years. With what those are, here's Keenan Sorakan.
The city is highlighting a number of key initiatives formed from surveys meant to outline what's important to residents and direct City Hall until 2029. Built around council priorities and being a high-performance organization, 10 areas like core services, transportation, and strengthening downtown will remain a focus, but others have been getting a lot more attention lately.
2 of the priorities that are getting a little extra attention are homelessness and housing, as well as community safety, because again, we hear from the citizens that those are important to them.
It was changes to the plan that were getting a majority of the attention Wednesday. A drop-in center open every hour of the year was being flagged, but that's only because of limited information, making it difficult to measure success.
These are provincial-run programs. There's a lot of privacy information related to the data. We have been actively working with them to figure out what kind of data the city can get and what kind of data the city could publish.
While drop-in centers remain in the plan, an online neighborhood watch and patrol alongside the Saskatoon Police Service run through the city's website was removed after 77% of respondents said they felt safe in their community.
Conversation there was, again, it's not a priority to put into the strategic plan, but it doesn't mean that it's not something that the city would support or something that couldn't happen.
More than 1,700 people took part in the survey, and while that number may seem small for a city of Saskatoon's size, Phillips says that's more than triple the input from the previous strategic plan. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Ukrainian skeleton racer has been kicked out of the Winter Games after he refused to stop wearing a banned tribute helmet. The helmet features images of more than 20 Ukrainian athletes and coaches killed in the war with Russia. He wore the helmet during his trial runs before competition began today. He was told then by the IOC that the headgear does not comply with Olympic charter. He has been banned from competing at the Winter Olympics and is, quote, the price of our dignity, he says. The IOC says he did not consider any form of compromise. Canadian freestyle ski star Mikhail Kingsbury has won silver in the men's moguls at the Olympics, bringing our medal count to now 6. The 33-year-old from Du-Montagne, Quebec, sailed to his 4th Olympic medal just behind Australia and Japan. They were tied at 83.71, but the Australian was declared the winner due to higher marks for his turns. And it just coming into our newsroom, Elliot Grondin has won a silver medal in men's snowboard cross, upping our medal count to 6. So here's where we stand at this moment, and this board has been updated for us. 7 golds for Norway puts them in first. Gold has the highest rating, 13 for Norway. Italy in second, although they do have 14 medals. Canada now is 3 silver, 3 bronze, 6 medals. They're down in 13th or 14th place. Let's get over to our weather center. Kayleen Sawatsky standing by with an updated look at what things are going on out there. Do we have any cold temp? Like, I feel like we should have one more blast of cold winter, you know?
We do have another blast of cold winter. This is what we call false spring, right? We're seeing really nice temperatures today. It's next week we start to see more of that snow, the temperatures dropping back down to the negatives, but let's not focus on that right now. Let's focus on today. The morning view looking really nice. The sun is already up. We're seeing a lot more daylight these days, -8 to wake us up in Regina. A few clouds right now and winds coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, -5. The sun still a little bit to go in terms of getting that sun fully up, but we're also seeing the clouds increasing right now, and we're also seeing the winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. Don't worry too much about those winds, though. Into the afternoon hours, we see a little bit more blue on the screen there than what we saw yesterday, but still, winds are remaining very low today, and we're not really seeing anything in terms of gusts. Let's take a look at these updated hot and cold spots for Saskatchewan and across the country. Loon Lake is now our hot spot in the province, -0.4. In the cold spot there, South End, -12.3. The Canadian hotspot is still Bonia Island in BC. They've gone down a little bit, though, from the last time we checked in. They were at 8.8. Now they're at 8.3. And that Canadian cold spot is in the Northwest Territories, -51.2. Thankfully, we're not seeing any temperatures close to that this morning. Today's forecast is showing a lot more of those positive numbers for areas in central Saskatchewan than what we have been seeing in the past couple days, but similar conditions down south, really nice and warm. 7 degrees expected for Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Weyburn, 6 degrees expected for Estevan, and 5 degrees expected for Regina, 2 degrees for Yorkton, 1 degree for Saskatoon, so finally breaking back into those positive temps. Prince Albert, 2 degrees, and the Battlefords at 2 degrees this afternoon. Not seeing too much precipitation today for the afternoon in the province, but we are taking a look at a system that's going to be impacting northern Saskatchewan into the overnight hours. What you're looking at on your screen is about 2:30 in the morning tomorrow. And then we're also talking about some mixed precipitation impacting areas right around Prince Albert and then east of Prince Albert into tomorrow afternoon. It's a very small system, though, and it's going to be pretty quick moving. It's not going to be sticking around very long. Then we have to talk about Saturday. We've been talking about this for a couple days of how it's been fluctuating on our radar a little bit. Here's how we're looking at it right now. At about 7:45 p.m., Saskatoon likely to be seeing some of those flurries. Regina, a wintry mix of that rain and freezing rain. With that, temperatures dropping a little bit as well, down to about 2 degrees on Saturday. But again, this is coming later on in the evening with the precipitation. 1 degree on Sunday and more snow coming on Monday. In Saskatoon, -1 tomorrow, -1 on Saturday. Again, those flurries likely to fall later on into the evening.
in history. February 12, 2010, Vancouver hosted the opening ceremony for the 2010 Olympic Winter Games. Hours before the opening ceremony in Vancouver, Georgian athlete crashed in a training run on a luge track in Whistler, and he died. February 12, 1990, teenagers started a fire in a tire dump in Hagersville, Ontario. It burned for 15 days and forced hundreds of families from their homes nearby. Rethink that segment.
Yeah,
it's always like something
segment.
like opening ceremonies. Okay. Death and destruction.
Yeah, it's nice temperatures, and then right into this day in history, everything was awful.
Everything is happening, and it was all bad. This duo will make you feel a little bit like you're stepping right back into the 90s.
Probably like 30 dogs, probably. Like this size? Yeah, 30 easily. Easily.
6. I feel like I would slow down around the 7th inning, but I would be at least 10 hot dogs.
Leafs having a little bit of fun with their hot dog stand. What do you have on your hot dog?
I am ketchup, and I like onions. I don't like relish or anything else. Yeah, I like mustard. But like raw onions on my hot dog.
Whoa.
Yeah, like not even cooked. What do you think?
No smooching for Kaylee after that.
No.
He's coming within a mile of you.
I love raw onions. Is that weird?
You sliver them, right? Like you're not just like taking it like an apple and just taking a bite,
Or
right?
if I go to Subway, for example, extra red onions, just the raw red onions.
My wife will take the giant thing of black olives and dump it on myself. That's how many I want. I guess they're having some fun with their dogs. Who is your first celebrity crush? Let's see what kind of answers we got for this, because there were a lot in the inbox.
Oh my goodness, a lot. I'm sorry if we don't get to your answer today. There was so many in our text line. Darren saying, my first crush would have been Farrah Fawcett. I think every boy growing up in the 70s had that red swimsuit
have that
picture.
hairdo day.
Yes, the hair. Oh, the famous hair.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah, Carol saying Captain Kirk.
All right.
Phil saying Elizabeth Montgomery, Bewitched.
Yep,
this one made me giggle. Thank you, RJ. Saying my wife's celebrity crushes are Matthew McConaughey and that darn Wayne Mantika. And then he followed up though, and he said that's actually current, not her first. He said her first was actually Sean Cassidy.
Okay. Which looks remarkably like Wayne Mantika.
Oh yeah, twins. Twins.
Stunning.
Elvis came in from the text line. We had Dawn saying Catherine Bach, Daisy Duke.
Yep.
Some more answers there. Lynn saying Leif Garrett.
Makes sense. Rob Lowe. Absolutely,
yes.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, 100%. I understand.
Rob Lowe he's aging like fine wine too.
Oh yes.
Handsome devil.
Speaking of aging like fine wine, Tom Selleck.
His mustache.
Yeah, still great.
He's got to be dyeing that at this point, right? Like that's not the natural color.
I mean, he's 81, I think now, so it's Becca saying Paul Gross, aka Constable Benton Fraser.
Due South. If you remember Due South, good on you. That is our question of the day. We're back with more news and everything else after this.
You may not make Olympic history like Layla Edwards or ski for Team USA, but don't let that dash your dreams of being in the best shape possible.
It's very inspiring to see elite athletes who work so hard to get to the world's greatest stage in sports. And it's very natural for everyday people to watch it and be inspired.
Dr. George Elderry with Orlando Health says even if you're not an Olympian, you can win good health with hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. But if you're just starting out, he says, take it slow.
I think too many people jump into something that's a little too intense for what their capabilities and what their athletic background is, and that's where you run into your risk of injuries.
Next, Elderry says to dedicate a certain time of day to moving your body, then slowly add to it, building up to a sustainable routine. And be consistent. Olympians aren't just preparing every once in a while. He says the general recommendation is 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week and 2 to 3 days of strength training with resistance. months.
So we're working on getting our body stronger and then working on our, our aerobic capacity and our ability to be fit.
Eldery says staying hydrated, maintaining a healthy sleep schedule, and having a healthy, balanced diet are also key.
High-performing athletes, they're like sports cars. They need premium fuel.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, now we head back out on location with Jeff Rogstad in Saskatoon. Good morning.
It's Doug, it's Julio, it's Marina and Marshall, and they are the Ice Dogs. Yes, they are carving up a storm here for Winter Shines. So, Doug, how many years have you been, you're the lead on this, how many years have you been carving ice?
This is my 12th year. Okay. Yes, 22 years as a pro carver, but in wood. Ice, 11.
Okay, so carving nonetheless. And Marshall, you're relatively new to this, so what fascinates you about this?
Just getting out there and carving. Just putting something out in the world.
Well, fair enough. That's the artistic process. And Marina, again, how many years have you been part of this ice sculpting world?
The ice sculpting world, probably 5 years, I think. And I've been wood carving, though, for 10 years now.
Maybe you have to start out in wood to begin with. But you start out in the kitchen. Julio, you're a chef.
Yes, I'm a chef.
So what is it about ice carving that are the two worlds sort of interconnected?
Yeah, it is, because we have to do for the catering service, all the weddings and all the kind of events. Right. So I started in the kitchen and then I moved to here.
All right, fair enough then. Some amazing things going on. And just before we go, I think about a couple of seconds here. What is the one carving that you're most proud of this year?
Well, I'm proud of them all. The ice slide this year, thanks to Living Skies Tree Service, they've come out and we're going to get the slide for the kids this year. The slide's going to be the big one.
All right, so the slide, everything happening at Nutrien Winter Shines. You can go to the website for more information. It's a great part of the Saskatoon winter tradition.
Freeze and Frenzy is back at the RCMP Heritage Centre, promising plenty of family-friendly fun. To tell us all about what you could expect, Sam Karakis, the CEO, is here to discuss it with us. Welcome, and thank you so much for your time.
Great, thanks for having me.
So for people who have not taken in the event in previous years, what is it that makes this so unique?
Well, this event is really great. A great opportunity for the community to come and experience the Heritage Centre if they haven't before, or to come back if they have been before. Every year we have a new theme for Freeze and Frenzy, and this year a superhero theme.
Okay, so for our kiddos that like the superheroes, there's going to be a lot going on. What can kids and their families expect when they walk through the doors?
Well, families can, we have activated the entire space of the Heritage Centre, so there's lots of stuff going on. We've got crafts, we have a movie in the theatre, the canteen will be open with mini donuts and popcorn for sale. We also have a lot of physical activities in the Heritage Room, so things like hockey shoot and that sort of thing. And we have a big mystery that the visitors, the little superheroes, have to solve.
Is this for kids of all ages, you would say?
Kids of all ages will have a good time. I think probably the sweet spot is probably around 5 to 10-ish, but there really is something for everyone. There's a lot of different accessible age group and accessible activities. We also will have photo opportunities with Spider-Man and Supergirl.
So this is not the first year of Freeze and Frenzy. Let's talk about the reception from previous years and what drew you to bring this back.
Yeah, this has been aside from Canada Day, our biggest event. People really love this event. Obviously, there's lots going on. Generally, Frost is happening at the same time, so the city is really excited to get out and do things. We have had hundreds upon hundreds of people who come to this event, and I think what parents really like about it is that it is a really cost-effective way to keep the family entertained for a few hours. There's lots of things going on and lots of different stations to kind of visit. So it keeps the family entertained for a while.
So we've hyped it up quite a bit. Now families are probably wondering what they should know about admission, when it is, and how to get there.
So it is on Family Day on Monday, February 16th. The event itself is from 11 till 3. It is regular admission, but we do have family rates. So a family of 5 can get in at our family rate.
Sam, this is being watched from across the province this morning, but of course the RCMP Heritage Centre right here in Regina. What would you say to encourage families to come on down to Regina this weekend and check it out?
Well, Regina has so much going on right now, not just the Heritage Centre. Obviously, we have our Freeze and Frenzy event on Monday. Frost is going on this weekend. Definitely lots to check out. So give it a Google. Look at Tourism Regina would be a good resource as well to see what's all going on.
Sam, thank you so much for your time this morning. Again, you can check out the Freeze and Frenzy at the RCMP Heritage Centre on Family Day.
Welcome back to Your Morning. It's 8:30. Here's some headlines. Recent image of Saskatoon's St. Paul Hospital is raising concerns about overcrowding. The picture shows portable beds occupying part of the hospital previously used for addictions treatment registration. According to the NDP, there is still a section which was used for rapid access addictions, medicine registration, and outpatient services. But NDP health critic Mira Conway says areas like the ones pictured not equipped to handle patient care.
This is becoming a pattern in our largest hospitals. For months, we've seen horrific images of hallway healthcare circulating in the media and online. Some videos have even gone viral, receiving thousands and thousands of views.
A statement to CTV News, the Saskatchewan Health Authority said the hospital saw an increased demand for emergency services this week, and the additional space was equipped fully. The federal government is shifting gears on its federal EV strategy. Stacey Hine with reaction.
The federal government is hitting the brakes on Canada's mandate requiring all new vehicle sales to be electric by 2035. Making the announcement last week, Prime Minister Mark Carney says instead, Ottawa is rolling out tougher emission standards. The Saskatchewan Automobile Dealers Association says it welcomes the move.
From an industry perspective, we're thrilled with the idea of eliminating the mandates. It's something we've been lobbying for since their inception.
Tyler Krause, a member of Sask EV, says the new plan won't be as effective as the previous mandate.
I think it's less stringent, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier on the auto manufacturers, where I think they really need to crack down on the manufacturers to encourage them aggressively to move towards electric vehicles.
But Krause says Ottawa's new incentive program, with rebates of up to $5,000 for EVs and $2,500 for plug-in hybrids, could still make a difference.
It's still going to incentivize and encourage people in Canada to adopt the EV and ditch the gas car. So I think it'll be effective.
The Dealers Association also supports the rebates.
It's going to help drive that type of EV sales. Now, maybe not completely electric vehicles in our marketplace.
To qualify for the rebate, vehicles must cost under $50,000 and be built in a free trade partner country. There's no price cap for Canadian-made EVs. The rebates are highest this year and scale back annually until the program ends after 2030. The federal government is also putting $1.5 billion towards building more charging stations across the country.
I think we definitely need more charging stations in Saskatchewan. We're still missing a lot of support in those rural communities.
SGI data shows nearly 3,000 fully electric vehicles were registered last year, more than 4 times the number in 2021, signaling growing demand in Saskatchewan. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
City of Regina is facing new questions when it comes to expansion. Donovan Mace tells us about changes proposed to the community's plan up for debate at Executive Committee on Wednesday.
The city is changing its mindset in how it plans to grow.
Growth does not pay for growth anymore. Growth is actually, it costs us to grow. We're shifting away from that now.
New statistics provided by administration to Executive Committee Wednesday show Regina is outpacing growth timelines set more than a decade ago. Originally, a plan to have 300,000 people living in the city by 2040, and now it's changing its target as those projections are now sooner.
To 2051, when Regina is forecast to reach a population of 370,000 residents, an increase of 136,000 people compared to the most recent census.
Needing more than 50,000 housing units to facilitate its growing population, the strain on infrastructure is reaching critical levels.
Wastewater to be our biggest restriction in terms of growth, which is I think something that we've all known for quite a while, but what it also did was identify several projects to help alleviate that.
With developers champing at the bit to get shovels in the ground.
Our timing would put that 30 years or more before we would be permitted, given that there wouldn't be a sewer there.
Wyszynski hopes a data-driven approach ends a cycle of political decisions, which he says is the reason behind the problems Regina has now.
This flips the script on that. This actually goes from a infrastructure availability or service availability perspective. So it's completely changed the way we look at it. It's a much more calculated approach.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
In other news this morning, a Saskatchewan man telling a harrowing tale of a run-in with some provincial wildlife last month. A warning, some of the images and details are disturbing. Here is Jacob Carr.
It's not every day that one comes across a moose in their own backyard, but that's what happened to Sean Tufnell when his mother Angie was attacked by the animal on her acreage near Beanfate.
First thing I could think of, get it away from her, because they just start stomping and then you're screwed. So I yelled twice, and it just turned, pinned its head at me. I didn't think it was going to run away, but it was worth a try. So I screamed pretty loud and big, and then, it just pinned his ears back and looked right at me and kind of shuffled towards me.
Tufnell describes having to punch the moose to get it off of his mother, then hitting it with a shovel, eventually shooting and killing it. Lyle McGilvery, a Saskatchewan wildlife photographer known in many circles as the Moose Whisperer, says he has never been attacked by one, but knows how terrifying they can be up close.
That had to be a terrible, frightening scene for both of them. I couldn't imagine having a 1,000-pound moose or a 1,200-pound moose standing over top of you, and those front feet is really detrimental. Like when they reach out with those front feet, they cause a lot of damage.
Both Tufnell and his mother were injured in the attack, Angie requiring stitches in her right calf, while he has been dealing with cracked ribs. Tufnell says while he has not suffered any trauma, his mother has not fared as well.
For me, there's no trauma there. Just I seen her in trouble, and it doesn't matter who it is. That's just how it is for my brain, I guess. But she was pretty traumatized. Like anytime she's outside, she's pretty worried. Like she's still pretty scared, but she's doing really good now. So it was a toll on her for sure.
The Canadian Wildlife Health Cooperative says it has examined the adult male moose and it was in very poor condition. The investigation is ongoing, but tests for rabies and chronic wasting disease have come back negative. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
CFL free agency is underway, and yesterday we got to hear from the general manager of your Saskatchewan Roughriders, Jeremy O'Day. A few months after winning the Grey Cup, the GM says the losing players is part of the process, and they've lost a few, and they'll now look to internal growth among youngsters.
Multiple positions that are battling. The will linebacker obviously will be a new will. Sam will be a new position. We'll probably have another offensive lineman that will be, an open position. We focus in on those, but I think one of the keys to us having success last year was, the depth that we had, right? So, and you can see it when, you have so many guys that are signing with other teams.
From the general manager, football season seems like it's right around the corner. They're still doing the Grey Cup tour all across the province.
Yeah, the celebration's still happening.
Sure is. What's going on in the weather today?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, Daryl, I'm a little bit upset at you because I specifically told my team to hide the cookies in the newsroom, and I just had my third. So really upset this morning. But hyped up on sugar. Let's talk about this morning view. It's brought to you by Affinity Wealth Management. We know investing. The sun is now fully up. We're at -8 in Regina, so the temperatures have gone down slightly since the last time we looked out there. We also have a few clouds right now and winds coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, again, seeing a few clouds to start the day. We're at -5 and winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. Those winds not going to be bothering you. We're going to be seeing a really calm day across the province, similar to what we saw yesterday. -11 in Stony Rapids this hour, -3 in Buffalo Narrows, -9 in Prince Albert, and -11 in Hudson Bay. Spiritwood at 0 degrees, so that's really nice to see. 0 degrees also in Wynyard, -6 in Kindersley this hour, -4 in Assiniboia, and -5 over in Weyburn and Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we will be seeing some really nice temperatures yet again down towards the south, but I also want to draw your attention to that central zone there around Battlefords, Prince Albert, Yorkton, all reaching 2 degrees. We have been seeing this trend lately where we see down towards the south a lot of positive temperatures, but still seeing the negatives in central Saskatchewan. So today is a step up in that regard. The Futurecast not showing a lot today for precipitation. We are going to be seeing a lot of sunshine in the province, especially down towards the south. Into the overnight hours, we do see some more clouds moving into areas around Prince Albert and Saskatoon, and some flakes way up north. That's all that purple on your screen. Into tomorrow afternoon, we are likely to be seeing some mixed precipitation in areas just east of Prince Albert. That's in the early afternoon, but as you can see, as we get into the later parts of the afternoon, this is at about 4 p.m. It's moved into Manitoba, so some good news there. And then we're just talking about the clouds increasing for the weekend and a larger but broken up system impacting areas in central and southern Saskatchewan with mixed precipitation. So for Saskatoon, more likely to be some flurries late in the evening on Saturday. And for Regina, it's more likely to be some mixed precipitation with rain and freezing rain. With that wintry mix on Saturday, again, that's going to be later on into the evening hours. The afternoon is going to be fairly cloudy, but temperatures are also going to be dropping down to about 2 degrees that afternoon, 1 degree on Sunday and 2 degrees on Monday with some more flurries on the way. In Saskatoon, dropping down to -1 tomorrow with that mix of sun and cloud, -1 on Saturday. Again, those flakes are going to be falling later on into the evening hours, -2 on Sunday and -4 on Monday.
Let's go back out on location and enjoy it. Oh, I thought we were going on location. Here we are. Let's do a little plot twist. Let's talk about the CNIB Walk for Dog Guides. It's the 6th annual. It's coming up, the Purpose Gala, right around the corner, May 9th in Regina. Kevin Gallant is with the organization. Joins us this morning in studio. Kevin, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks.
Rank TV amateur.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Varma was supposed to be here. She's the chair, but she's unavailable. But she's been working on this for the last 6 years now. And this gala does take place on Saturday, May the 9th. And it transforms lives. That's the whole idea for someone who's blind or low-sighted. And, you know, getting a guide dog allows them a lot more confidence, a lot more mobility, safety, and purpose in life. And freedom, yeah. And so, you know, since this started, we've been able to provide in the province of Saskatchewan at least 6 guide dogs that I know of, maybe 7. And we're hoping to get a couple more for Saskatchewan residents that are in need because of this event, which takes place the night before Mother's Day.
And this is some of the video of some of the training. It's very intensive. So that's what some of the upfront cost is.
Yes, it costs about $55,000 to $60,000. It used to be $50,000, but obviously everything's going up in price.
Yep.
And so it's really, really important. So they go through a huge, rigorous training, and that takes about 2 years. They've got to feed, raise, train, and then match the guide dog.
And what's the demand like here in Saskatchewan?
Well, there's obviously we can't provide enough dogs for our clients at the CNIB. So in Canada in general, there's a waiting list of over 400, well over 400. And in Saskatchewan, I assume that waiting list is quite substantial.
So the money that you raise here is critical to your efforts.
Oh, it's unbelievable to having guide dogs for those who really need that help to help transform their lives.
What does a guide dog really do for a person?
What does a guide dog
obvious,
do?
But
yeah, well, just like I said, like it safety, mobility, freedom. Just everything. The dogs are so well trained, so anybody that has one would tell you it makes an incredible difference in their lives. Like, it's beyond belief the difference that it makes in their lives, and it's just something that you know ever since I moved back to Regina, I wanted to be involved in a charity, and this one certainly makes sense for me, right, to help out.
The 6th annual. So people have never, if somebody has never been to this before, what do they expect when they walk through the doors of the Purpose
Well,
Gala?
it'll be amazing this year, because when you walk through the doors this year, it's going to be kind of a dimly lit facility with a lot of tables for over 500 people, and they're going to see over 3,000 candles.
Wow.
And it's going to be lit up for Candlelight by Fever, which is going to play the music of world-renowned Coldplay with the 4-quartet symphony. And it's going to be, they're going to play during the evening dinner, and then they're going to play after the live auction, and it's going to be a spectacular venue. Like, it'll be unbelievable.
Where do we get tickets, Kevin?
You get tickets through the CNIB, and of course, just go to the CNIB website or call the CNIB. Tickets are $150 a person. There's corporate tables available, but it'll be an amazing evening with a lot of incredible auction items, and I mean incredible.
And that's coming up on May 9th. Thank you, Kevin, so much for spending some time with us.
Yes, and maybe next time I can bring a guide dog.
Yeah, without the working vest, so we can actually pet him.
Yes.
Kevin is with the CNIB. Thank you for doing that. Now we will switch gears, and now we will talk to Janelle Lippai, who is on location for us. Janelle.
Good morning. As you can see here, we are relaxing further, and I've got Christy back with me. We are trying out a sound bath for this time around. Now, Christy, I am going to lay down. Yes. I am all covered up. As I do that, tell me a little bit about the benefits of a sound bath.
So a sound bath is a vibrational frequency that helps calm the nervous system, to put it quite simply. As I speak, I'm going to play the bowls.
Okay.
So I have crystal singing bowls here, and they're all tuned to a different frequency and bring a different sense of calm and relaxation into the body, healing cells in the body. Those waves of breath to wash over you. Bring a little wiggle into the fingers and toes. And stretching into your body glove. So just stretch, reach into your body. And you can give yourself a hug. Curl your knees and squeeze.
After battling colorectal cancer, former teen idol James Van Der Beek has died at just 48 years old. He announced in 2024 he had cancer, but it was just last month he revealed it was colorectal cancer. The dad of 6 spoke with our Robin Roberts about life with his diagnosis.
Your wife, Kim, she was there. You said that she has been your rock. How has she helped you?
She's, this is where I'm going to lose it. She's been amazing. She's really taught me what unconditional love is.
Van Der Beek's career spanned 3 decades. Most notably known for his role as Dawson Leary in Dawson's Creek. His wife posting, he met his final days with courage, faith, and grace. Colorectal cancer affects the lower intestine and is the second most common cancer in both men and women. About 160,000 people are expected to be diagnosed this year, with more than 55,000 annual deaths. One major concern, more people under 50 are being diagnosed.
More young people being affected by this disease, and to the point that I would actually call it an epidemic.
37-year-old father of 2, Chris Kowalski, learned he had stage 4 colorectal cancer last year after experiencing belly pain and fatigue.
It's one of those things that, you got to get checked out because you never know what can happen.
Belly pain and fatigue are symptoms, as well as a change in bowel habits, blood in your stool, and weight loss. Doctors emphasize the importance of diet and exercise, but say there's no known cause of colorectal cancer.
It's not necessarily genetics. It's more likely to be environmental. It could be microbiome, but still it remains an unanswered question.
Colonoscopies are recommended beginning at age 45. Earlier, if you have a family history of colorectal cancer. Kowalski has no family history, but now, after 18 rounds of chemo with a clinical trial, he has a good prognosis and is on a mission to raise awareness.
I'm super proud of the fact that as of right now, over 100 people that are in my network have gotten colonoscopies since April. And unfortunately, 5 of those people had polyps.
The death rate has been dropping in older adults, mainly because polyps are found by screening and removed before they develop into cancer. But for younger people, death rates are on the rise. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Ahead of Valentine's Day, time now to bring you a story about finding love thousands of miles away.
This Valentine's Day week, we're meeting a couple whose love story kind of sounds like... Did you know it was going to kind of end up being like the Love Boat, too?
No, not at the time.
For about 4 decades, Gary and Susan Parker have been volunteering for Mercy Ships, a nonprofit that brings hospital ships around the world to perform life-changing surgeries in primarily developing nations. Gary was one of the first surgeons to come aboard back in the mid-'80s. Do you remember what this kid's name was?
Alfred.
You still remember Alfred 40 years later?
It's the first ones, he was one of the first patients.
But Gary and Susan can also remember meeting each other in 1987. At 25, Susan had just joined to volunteer as an executive assistant.
You know when a surgeon boards a ship and he's single. The word goes around.
Well, fast forward a little bit, and here are their engagement photos in Ghana before marrying in 1991. Soon, they were raising their 2 children on the ship. Here's their son, Wesley, watching TV with some of the young patients. Then here's an interview with their daughter, Karis, from 11 years ago, giving her feedback on what it's like to grow up at sea.
I get to interact with so many cultures and so many people, learn new worldviews and languages and religions. So for me, I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Well, here's how you know she wasn't kidding. In 2024, Karis married a Scottish anesthesiologist she met on a Mercy ship while they were volunteering together.
Well, she said to me, I want you to know, I know my life is starting to look like yours, but we will not live on a ship for 40 years.
And while Gary and Susan cannot be on the ships as much now, even the day of our interview, Susan had woken up at 4 a.m. to check in on a ship in Madagascar during a terrible cyclone.
It's really a two-way street. We're offering the gifts and skills that we have, but we're also learning from what their cultures share with us and what they have as a people that we don't have.
By the numbers, Mercy Ships has performed more than 125,000 surgical procedures and more than 500,000 dental procedures, while more than 500 couples have met and married while serving on board. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I kind of love that. You got married on a cruise.
I did
You got married on your very own love boat.
Yeah, I did, and it was beautiful. I would recommend to everybody.
With 300 of your closest friends invited to karaoke. Let's get to your sidebar. You. Sometimes you're sitting around on a Saturday flipping through the channels and the Mummy is always on.
But is that a bad thing?
I don't know. It's coming back.
So that we have feared for more than 3,000 years is the bringer of death. He will never stop.
Pictures shared a picture on social media that is captioned "Mommy and Dad, you're back." M-U-M-M-Y, not mommy. There are photos from the 90s heartthrobs Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, who were in the 1999 film. We now know Mummy 4 is getting a 2028 release. The 4th installment hits theaters May 19th, and Brendan Fraser is supposed to be in that film.
I was going to say, sometimes you get the sequels and they don't have the original cast, and it doesn't have to be the entire cast, but you need the stars, right?
Actors are incredible because, like, he's going to go from The Whale, right, where he purposely gained all that weight, to that.
And I think he has a new TV series coming out as well, right?
A TV series on Disney Plus too.
He is staying booked and busy.
Busy. I can't even get in a Hallmark movie. Here's a little reminder that you're never too young to bust a move.
4.
Make this video better is if that cat starts dancing too.
Yeah, I'm waiting
cat
for
starts
that
jumping up on
jig.
That's when we'll know it's AI.
This is
rhythm.
a little more sophisticated than yesterday. I was filming my daughter dancing to Sabrina Carpenter.
There was a very aggressive stomp involved.
Yes, well, she learned to march at dance class recently, so.
Yes, she did. Let's march on into break for 20 hours or so. We'll see you then.